Okay, I might get into it now. So hopefully everyone can see my screen. If you want to, if you need to unmute to ask a question, then please do, or just put a question in the Q&A or chat window, whatever's the easiest for you, and I will hopefully answer your question. So I'm Stephen Foster from Push My Button. You may be one of my customers or Derek Lamb's. Um, and what I'm going to be doing today is walking you through the new feature that's just been released this week, which is called the promo screen. So what I'm going to cover in the next 30 minutes-ish is what the promo screen is and how it works, some key use cases for it that you might want to consider, how you set it up in the reporting portal, and then link off to some useful resources that you can utilize. And just to really reiterate, the promo screen only applies to the Smiley Touch kiosk. And the Smiley Digitals and Smiley Signs, they have their own sort of redirect sort of URL on them anyway. So these only applies to the Smiley Touch kiosk. So what is the promo screen? So I suppose the promo screen basically allows you to customize key moments within the survey flow to hopefully engage and drive additional conversations and feedback through the Smiley Touch kiosk. And what it enables you to do is really four things. It allows you to add some custom messages, either at the very start of the survey flow as a clear sort of call to action that what you would like them to do. It also allows you to put some of your brand colors onto the kiosk for the first time. So this might be your logo, it might be your brand colors, and that basically changes all the buttons in the kiosk flow to your brand color to make it consistent with your experience. And then also the ability to add a QR code on the thank you page, which could drive the customer, the visitor, to an external page of your liking. And this can be different based on whether the customer's gone down the green, a happy response, or the red, unhappy response. So therefore you can tailor that content specific to the feedback that they've given. And I suppose some of the use cases you could be thinking about, and there's many more that could be applied to the Smiley Touch promo screen, but some which come, top of mind would be loyalty programs. If you have a loyalty program and someone's giving their feedback, you could have messaging driving them to your sign up to your loyalty program page, for example, at the end of the flow. It could be a promotional campaign that they unlock by giving feedback, whether that's a 10% off voucher or an opportunity to go into a prize draw. Could be the drive for the promo screen at the very end. So trying to drive that additional feedback by offering incentives to do so. It could be trying to boost your online reviews. So after someone's given a green response, at the end of the flow, you could try and drive them to Google reviews or some of a review channel to give additional feedback. And then customer care. So if they've gone down, they've given negative feedback, then maybe the QR code could drive them to an FAQ page or customer support page to try and engage with them around why they hit the red faces or not. So there's multiple ways that you can utilize the promo screen to drive engagement, drive feedback, and drive that additional follow-up through the service. And the flow for the new promo screen, if you choose to use it, is that it appears at the very end of the flow. So once the opportunity to give open feedback has been given, the promo screen replaces the sort of the thank you page of the normal process. So what you're able to do with the promo screen functions is you're able to put a logo bar at the end of at the start of the survey, and that could be your colors with your logo and your logo and a personalized message. by doing those brand colors, it then changes the buttons on the options on the follow-up pages and the submit buttons to your brand color, and the lettering goes white or black depending on the color of your branding. So that's automatic, and that color is based on this accessibility of the tool to whether it's white or black. So you don't have control of that, but you have control of the color. And then at the end of the flow, you have the control of adding to the thank you page with two message areas, the primary and secondary message area, your logo, and a QR code. And that QR code can be different based on the green or the red presses. So quite a big change to the standard Smiley Touch, in the sense that you can now add your own branding and logo onto it as well, in addition to obviously the signage above the screen. So for example, you could have that page and it could be driving you to a rewards page or ability to get, percentage off. Obviously, this is something you would need to build, but that page and QR code could link to something like that to try and drive that additional engagement of feedback. So you could be quite creative around how you potentially choose to use this capability. So just to reiterate, there's really three sort of customizable elements within the promo screen functionality, and this is available to all packages, whether you're on essentials or professional. So it applies to all. So obviously that color can be used on all the survey screens. You can have your logo appearing, and that logo can be different, and colors can be different for each experience point or group. So if you're an organization which have multiple brands using the HappyOrNot service, and you want different brand colors for different groups or locations within your ecosystem, then you can do that with the promo elements. And they are all set in the experience point settings and group settings. And then the custom texts are applied within the actual survey themselves. So they can be different by survey as well, and can be different based on whether the person's gone from a green or a red face. And at the survey level, just like you can with all surveys, you can change those default colors that you set up at the experience point level at the survey level as well, if you wanted to, for that specific survey that you're running. And they're set in the survey. And then the QR codes are set in the survey themselves against the individual experience points that you've associated to that survey. So meaning that depending on the experience point, the QR code and the link from that QR code could be different for the same survey. Obviously that becomes applicable when you may be asking a survey across your multiple brands, but it's the same survey that you're asking, but you want the page which gets displayed to be different based on the experience point, the location they've given that feedback in, which is really powerful. So if you've got multiple locations and you want to drive them to a specific page on their individual website, you can do that at the experience point level within the survey. Or all experience points could be shown the same URL QR code at the end of the process as well. So you've got the full flexibility of changing colors by experience points, the messaging, and QR codes. So making it extremely flexible with how you want to look to use it. So just as some example, and I'll go through this in a minute, but by default, this is what the HappyOrNot user interface on the first page looks like. You can, through the custom branding now, and this add your logo and color to that first page. You can not add your logo, but just the text. And you can also add your logo, your color, and the text. So you've got quite a bit of flexibility there of how you want to potentially personalize that front page. Again, you don't have to do any of this. This is all optional and set up by survey. So it's really up to you if you want to choose to use it or not. And then on the thank you page, again, you can either just have, thank you, your color, your logo. You can have the logo, the color, and the QR code. You can have no QR code, but more of a personalized message based on whether they hit the green or the red face, and your logo and additional text. Or you can have everything, which is the QR code, the text, the logo, and the secondary text. And we call this a primary text and the secondary text within the user interface. And this QR code, like I said, can be different by experience point and by positive or negative a sentiment, as well as the messaging on the thank you page as well. So with that, what I'll do now is I will walk you through how you actually set this up. It's all, as Happy or Not, it's all very straightforward and simple, but there are a few things that you need to be aware of and where you set them up for the different things that you might want to occur. So let's take a look. So the first step in the process is deciding on your branding that you might want to appear as for the buttons and the color on that first page of the survey. And you do this at the experience point group or experience point level. And the system can you can either have define it at the group level and have all your experience points inherit that group branding, or you can have different branding at the experience points level to the group level. So you have that flexibility of how you want to do it. So let's just open up the reporting portal. So here's the reporting portal, and in here you see you've got my group called the Promo Screen Webinar, and underneath that an experience point called Promo Screen Experience. So if you want to define your colors and branding at the group level, then it's simply going into the settings at that group level, and you'll notice when you scroll down now, right at the very bottom, you have custom branding options here. So to edit these, you just hit the edit button, and you can choose to whether you inherit the branding from your parent group. So obviously this is a subgroup within my demo company, but I could set the branding at the top organizational level, and then that just gets inherited down the groups and the experience points within the structure. Or I could define it at the group level and the experience points underneath that group inherited, or finally at the very lowest level at the experience point level. So basically when you come in here, you first of all basically into these elements. So you're going to give your brand name, and this brand name is used instead of the logo if you don't have a logo. And then you choose your brand color, which has to be a hexadecimal number. So for example, if I wanted to change that to red, I might change this, and there's lots of resources online, for those labels to convert whatever format your brand color is into a hex number if you haven't already got one for it. And then you basically upload your file by choosing your file here to pick a logo for your screen. Once you're happy with that setup, you just hit save, and now you've updated the custom branding, and this will be inherited across the experience points associated with this group. If I wanted to change it per experience point, then I just have to go to the experience point and do exactly the same steps. So I just come in and hit the settings of my experience point and scroll down to the bottom, and I'll see my custom branding. And at the moment, you see here, I've got this set to inherit from the parent group. But if I wanted to make it different, I'm just going to come in here, untick the parent settings and click enable custom branding, and I can do exactly the same thing at the experience point level to what I did just now at the group level by entering in brand name, brand color, and uploading a logo that I want to appear. And obviously that logo could be anything. It could be the logo of your brand, it could be a logo of a promotion, whatever you would like to be, as long as it meets the criteria of a transparent background, because obviously it's going to fit over your color of your brand, as well as within the size limits of the 500 by 260. So I'm just going to go back to inherit the same from the parent group. So once you've made those settings changes on your experience group and point level, if there's an active survey running and you've made those changes will automatically be updated and appear on your touches within that survey. So you don't have to do anything else. It'll just appear on your existing surveys that you're running if there's one already running for an experience point that you've just set up. So that's the first stage, which is setting your brand colors. The next step is your updating the survey. So if I just go back into my slides briefly. So once you've set up your brand colors, the next thing is in every step of the process of Happy or Not. Once you've set your experience points up, you now can go on and update or create a survey. And at the survey level, you've got the ability to put some text on the main screen. Now, if you've got no branding options set up by experience point, you can still add the text on the survey. And so it could just be a line of text underneath the smiley faces. If you've got your branding, then it's going to appear within that branding area. And that's called the main survey text. And then on the thank you page, you can also update the text, and there's two elements of text here. You've got what we call the primary text and the secondary text, and you can have either or none appearing on your thank you message, and these can be different based on whether they hit the green or the red faces, just like the open text changes we've made and the follow-ups. And they're all optional, so it's up to you to whether you actually want to utilize them or not. So let's just switch into the reporting so you can see how these are enabled. So within the experience points, I'm going to now go over to my surveys. I'm just going to filter my surveys just to my promo screen webinar. So I just see my survey that I've got up and running. And obviously I could go through and hit add new to create a new survey, but I just want to edit this existing survey that's running to add in these new customizable aspects of the promo screen. So I'm just going to click on it. And when I'm in the survey here, I just need to hit edit to edit the existing survey. And the first step, if I want to put that text on the first screen, then I hit the first edit. And down here on the screen now, you'll notice that there's this new area being added to the survey flow called main screen custom message. So by default, if you're creating a new survey or you're editing an existing survey, this would be unticked. If you tick this, then the box will appear and you can type in your text that you want to appear. Now, if you've got multiple languages associated with your survey, then you would have to also transcribe that message into those languages as well in this same area here. So whatever you type here is what appears on the screen itself. Once you're happy with that change, and notice you do have a limit of 60 characters. Obviously, you can't have a whole massive paragraph there, so it needs to be clean, consistent, easy to read, and quick to read. So once you've done that and you're happy with that, you would go through building your natural flow of your screen, the ability to change your open feedback questions. And now on the thank you page area, you now have the ability to hit edit. And when you're coming through and either editing an existing survey or creating a new one, the flow from the open feedback will take you to here to ask you whether you want to show the custom messages on the thank you screen and whether you want them to be different messages based on whether you hit the positive or the negative feedback. So to show the custom messages, you just hit the tick. To show the separate message, you hit the tick. And once you've done that, you click done. It then opens up this area here where you now can add your text for your green faces and your red faces. So to change the main text area, you just hit the edit and you have up to 80 characters here to type in the message you want to appear. And again, if you had multiple languages, you would have to type that in each of the languages that you have, but you would just type in your message. And if you want a secondary text which appears below the main text next to the logo, then you'd hit the edit and you would type that in here as well. On this area, you've got a little bit more space because the characters are smaller. So you have up to 140 characters within the secondary text space. And then over to the red faces, you can have different main text and secondary text based on whether they hit red. So in this example, if they hit the green, I want to send them to my loyalty program to join. If they hit the red, I'm suggesting, do they want to speak to anyone about their experience? Once I'm happy with those texts, I just hit save. I've now updated my survey, and those texts will now start within a short period of time start appearing on that survey screen for the touches associated with the survey. And down here you see I've got two experience points associated with my survey. So the last step in the process now is whether I want a QR code to be showing on those pages or not. And those QR codes are set within the survey at the experience point level. And I've got two ways of updating these QR codes. If my QR codes are going to be the same across all my experience points, then I don't have to edit them individually. All I need to do is hit this select multiple. And by the way, this is actually quite a nice feature which you may or may not be aware of if you've got lots of experience points, but you can use this to do lots of big updates across the system. So all I need to do here is come in and click my two experience points, click edit settings, survey settings, and then I can choose what element of those survey settings do I want to update for the experience points selected. In this sense, I want to update my Smiley Touch settings, and I want to update the show QR code on the thank you screen. Hit next. Then I have the ability now to define what that QR code should be. So I can hit yes, and I can choose to separate it out. And then all I'm doing here is just entering in the URL for the positive redirection and the negative redirection, and the QR code itself is generated by HappyOrNot on that thank you page, so you don't have to worry about creating a QR code. You just need to type in the URL you want that QR code to take the customer through to. Once you've made that update, you'd hit save and make that change, and that would apply to both of your experience points. So that's quite a nice feature because you can actually update lots of different settings here without going through each one individually. But if I wanted to have a different QR code for each experience point, because there might be different brands or different locations, different pages I need to send people to, then I can do that at the experience point level by just hitting the settings icon, scrolling down to the bottom, and down here you see I had that same option which I was basically bringing up through the multiple, and all I need to do is hit yes, separate them out from positive and negative, and type in the URL I want to redirect them to based on if they hit the green or the red face on this experience point. So you have the full flexibility here of individual or the same. And like I say, you don't need to worry about the QR code and be generated. It's all done automatically. Once I hit the save, that's updated, and within a few minutes that will be live on your Smiley Touch. So hopefully that's really all you need to know to how you set it up. Experience points and surveys, you've got full flexibility of how you set that up. So let's just switch back and take a look at now what that actually looks like. So I just filmed my own Smiley Touch with these changes, so you can just see it in flow. So I'll just hit the play of the video here. So I got my message, my colors, my branding colors are different, and it brings me to my thank you page and my QR code based on hitting green. If I hit the red faces, then I see I have my different message and my QR code now, which will take me to my support page. So yeah, that's the capability that has been enabled by HappyOrNot. I hope you like that functionality, and I think it has quite a lot of ways to enhance and drive more feedback now, with the ability to update those open messages text, as well as now the thank you page. There's lots of help videos and help online through the standard HappyOrNot help page. You just need to search up thank you screen. And you'll find or promo screen, you'll find all the useful articles that you need. Also within the experience points and the setting pages, if you click the little icon next to the thing, there's generally a link to these pages to help you set those up. And as always, if you need any personalized support to help you go through this process for the first time, just get in touch with your push button representative, and they'll be happy to take you through the approach. So there was a question. Let me just bring that question up. Is there an option for multiple languages? Yep, exactly. So there is. So if you have multiple languages, then in each of those text boxed areas, you'll have to enter the text for the applicable language, just like you do now for the survey question. They'll just automatically appear based on the languages you've got selected. So yes is the answer. We've got a couple more minutes, so if there's any questions you have, please either turn off your mute and ask them, or put them in the chat window, or if not, then I'm finished. So you're happy to leave at this point, but hope you like that capability, and yeah, I'd be interested to know how you're going to go about using it.
Steve, Dan Thompson here from Discovery Parks, and normally I work with Derek.
Yeah.
We've got around about 12 or 13 devices linked to, a parent account, so to speak. Looking through the settings, I'm unable to custom brand. Do I have to do them individually, or can I push it down from the brand?
Should be able to push it down from your top group or your top brand.
Yeah, just saying it says use same setting as parent group. Yes. Enable custom branding. No. Maybe I'll just pick it up with Derek.
Yeah, because I'll take a look and your settings, and I'll get back to you.
If you wouldn't mind, Steve, that'd be great. I'm looking at it. Be great if we could push some messaging out, and we've got an opportunity to do some membership stuff as well through the devices. So that'd be cool if you can have a look.
Yeah, I will do. I'll have a look straight after this call, and I'll just fire you a quick email and copy Derek in as well.
Awesome. That'd be awesome. Thanks, Steve.
No worries. Thanks. If there's no more, I will share a copy of this recording for people who want to see it after this call as well. But yeah, thank you for attending, and have a great rest of Friday.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you, everyone.